guys, welcome to the HVAC Diaries. This episode of the HVAC Diaries is brought to you by New Calgon. How are you guys this week? Did you have a good week? Did you miss me? It's been a whole week, but I'm back and I brought HVAC Adventures with me, so let's go ahead. This week was all about dirty evaporator coils, mostly at pizza places. We've been working at a lot of pizza places lately, but that's just how it goes sometimes, I guess. That's fine. So the first one was a prep cooler that just wasn't getting down to temperature. It was sitting at like 10 degrees Celsius when we arrived.
This poor unit is so gross on the inside. It's in such bad condition.
Compressor is running. She's very warm, and we're at what, 10 degrees here? Actually, the evaporator coil was completely frozen over. It was frozen solid. Actually, I just noticed this now, but our suction is actually frozen up. I want to see if this thing is frozen up. Oh, where's the evaporator? Oh, she's totally frozen, actually. So, first things first, we had to thaw out that ice. But this thing is designed in such a poor way that you basically have to disassemble it on the inside to get to the evaporator coil, but you can't get to the other side of the coil, which is the side I want to get to. That's probably the side that's really dirty, but you just can't get into that side of the cabinet. It's closed from that side. It looks like in order to access that evaporator, we have to like take off this drawer guard, and then it looks like just like screws, 3 screws on that side. I don't know about that drawer.
Just want to say, watching this back, I'm kind of impressed that I got both of my shoulders in this little cabinet.
This is not a regular evaporator. We still don't have access to it.
That ice is thick. So we did what we could. We got to it. We thawed out all the ice, and then we blew it with nitrogen from the one side. It's not the side we wanted to get to, but we did what we could. So hopefully we dislodged a bunch of dirt from the other side of the coil through the coil. Don't know. Yep.
Some people just don't care about space.
The other 2 pizza places were exactly the same as last week's evaporator that we cleaned at the Domino's Pizza. So we cleaned that unit there, the walk-in cooler, and we showed him like what we saw there, and he was like, actually, I've got 2 more locations. If we could just be proactive about it, can you go and check my other 2 walk-ins just to make sure they're not dirty? So exactly the same design. You have to get onto the cooler room, kind of shimmy your way towards the unit, lift out the ceiling tile so that you can actually sit upright and work. Then there's this really large, heavy lid on top of the evaporator portion, which you have to unlatch and then lift and then move away so that you can access the evaporators. I'm just complaining. But it's a really good thing that we did that on both of them, because both of them were filthy. Both of them were so clogged. Now they're not. Okay, let's see if I can get through here. I just want to say how convenient it is to have this duct right there where I need to be.
Okay, you can actually lay it down then, Jess.
Is it better?
Actually, yeah.
Okay.
Just want to check.
Keep snagging my hair on all of these little pieces of wire and shit like that. This is so great.
Okay.
This is what we took out. Oh my goodness. Okay, we also just blasted that condenser coil with nitrogen. Got it all clean. Well, as clean as it'll go. Let's see, I'm gonna have to remove some tiles, I think. All right, let's go. All right, let's see some options here. Yep, lots of it. Not the dirty one. Alright, let's see about this condenser coil. So, not bad. Let's get closer. The fourth piece pizza place was something a little bit different. So their complaint is that their extractor fan for their ovens, their cooking ovens, is rattling and making a lot of noise. In fact, the tenant above them is complaining. So we went in there, we kind of tried to take it apart and get in it. But unfortunately, the thing is so old and so gross. There were no markings on it, no models or serials or anything like that to identify this fan motor. So we're going to suggest that they replace that entire box as like an assembly rather than trying to find a new motor and capacitor and all that stuff, because we think the drum, the wheel, is probably so gross in there as well. Anyway, it's going to take a little bit of work to find what we need. But yeah.
Yeah.
So we're just trying to figure out how to get into this box because it seems kind of sealed all over. Let's see if I can get in from the top maybe. Oh, nope. It's also sealed off. Okay, got a couple of screws out. At least now we can try to see what's in here. Let's see. Oh, that looks really gross. Okay. Damn, that's gross.
Put it on still and make it run right now, too, right?
I don't think I want to. We did one filter replacement job this week at my absolute favorite location in the whole world. It's not. It's the Tim Hortons in downtown Vancouver. So we go there and it's just busy all the time. It doesn't matter what time of day you go there. It's busy for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It's just busy, 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 busy. And I'm walking there with the ladder and everyone's kind of like looking at you and they're just in the way. And oh my gosh, it's so stressful. They have 3 air handlers in their ceiling space, and all 3 of them are so difficult to access the filters. It's such a mission. It's such a hassle to get those filters changed. Now, because of where they are, for some reason, their filters get dirtier sooner than usual. So we should be doing that filter change every 2 months instead of every 3 months. But sometimes we push it because it's such a hassle and anyway, got all 3 of them changed out. It took us forever to get here today.
The speakers in this store are right beside where I have to go to change the filters, and they always have the radio on blasting some really fun song, and I get to sing along with it. But YouTube does not like that, so I've silenced all of these videos. And therefore you can't hear any of my complaining.
Okay, going in. So now,
All 3 of these units are just so hard to access. All 3 of them have 2 filters in them each because a big size won't fit in there. I have to literally fold the smaller sizes to get them in, and I gotta use a filter puller for all of them. Fun times.
what a hassle. See how dirty are you? Oh, fucking filthy. Filthy. Also, while we were there, we did a little check on their other refrigeration stuff. Their walk-in cooler was okay, but their walk-in freezer seems to be still quite frosty on the coil. So what we did was we adjusted the defrost timer, well, the defrost interval to be slightly longer. We just added 5 minutes to each of the defrost intervals. But in order to access the defrost timer, which is located in their storage area above the walk-in cooler and freezer, you guys, it's so hazardous in there. And because I'm the smallest, and well, I'm always kind of willing to go in there because it's good for the video. So, but I complain so hard because yeah, it's just so hazardous up there. I've got to move things, and anyway. So many boxes up here. I don't know if I can get through them.
And then if you get the defrost, right away.
Yeah, I will. It's gonna take me a minute to get through this though.
Yeah.
Give me a bit. Okay, I'm in. We had 2 refrigeration related jobs this week, which should have nothing to do with refrigeration at all. One of them was our meat supplier that we've been working at a lot. They've got a freezer that surrounds their store. It goes from one wall to the other wall to the other wall. It lines their entire store. And one of their little fan motors, the blade stopped working. The blade stopped working. That doesn't even make sense. The blade fell off of the motor. The motor was still spinning, but the blade was just like bloop off of it. The motor's still spinning. The blade came off.
Is that busted?
Yeah.
Just popped off.
Yes.
It's a little crazy.
Okay.
So we investigated the blade to make sure that it was still like intact. It wasn't compromised or broken or anything like that. And then luckily I was able to find a little nut to fit on that motor shaft. And that held it in place. So now we're back up and running. Unfortunately though, we have to unpack a whole section of that freezer to get to that fan motor. But yeah, it's pretty quick and easy, just in and out. Okay. I send it to you, or you push it that way. Ah, I got it. Maybe that's it. My little nut works. It fits on there. And the other non-refrigeration job was a liquor store. They have this big, it's 6 foot display cooler, like a reach and grab display cooler. Anyway, so they have somebody else that works on their beer refrigeration stuff. So they called us up. They're like, hey, any chance you can locate this sensor for this cooler? So I did a bit of investigation, and I'm like, yeah, no, we have those sensors in our truck. I didn't say this to her, but basically we have a whole stash of them. They come with the controllers that we use. And sometimes we don't have to replace the sensor, so we have them. We keep them as spares. We basically have like this little box full of them. And sometimes when the box gets too full, we just start throwing them away because they're extras. They're just more than we need. So yeah, no, we've got that sensor. We'll come and put it in tomorrow. She's like, thank goodness. Thank you. So when we walk into the store, immediately, I'm like, is that alarm gonna stop? So I look at her and she's like, that has been ringing for 9 weeks. She's like, it's been going for 9 weeks. My staff and I are going crazy. She's like, I've actually kind of zoned out the sound a little bit, except sometimes I hear it at home in my brain. I'm like, dude, why? So we go to the back there. We take off the front cover of this fridge so we can see the inside of it. Trevor presses one button to silence the alarm. She's like, wow, you guys fixed it so quickly. We're like, no, we just silenced it so we can find out where the sensor is. And she's like, I've been listening to that for 9 weeks. Oh my goodness. Anyway, so if you do the research on this thing, you can buy an OEM sensor. They want to charge $267 for this sensor that we literally have just willy-nilly in the back of our truck, in our workshop, in some random spares box. We just have these sensors. This industry is so crazy sometimes. Haha. That's a fun sound.
Down, and then, like I said, we'll just solder the new one off. There are more sensors. Can we get some of that putty? Go ahead.
And it's 31, right? 31.
I get 1, 2. I know.
All right, we got this thing all back together again. And then we'll see about those. That's cool. This week I attended the local Chamber of Commerce business showcase event, which is like a trade show. Each of the little businesses, they have a little booth where you can go and speak to the people about their businesses and find out more about them and stuff. So I used to be very heavily involved with the Chamber of Commerce here before I was an apprentice. When I was in the office full time, I was part of the Chamber of Commerce in a very heavy way. So it was really cool to go and see some of my old friends there and see their businesses still thriving. And yeah, it was a really cool little event. Look who I found here! My friends at Domino's! Yeah!
Hello!
Alright guys, well I'll leave it there for this week's vlog. Thank you so much for joining me on this episode of the HVAC Diaries HVAC vlog. Almost didn't get that one. Thank you again for joining me, you guys, and I look forward to seeing you guys next week. All of the leaves are falling. It's very beautiful around here. Happy fall. The ice, the solid thick ice on it. This story is all over the frickin' place. Why can't I just focus? Focus. Start that again. It's so stressful. What is that crow doing? Crow, you're in my video, bitch. Move along. There we go. All right. Thank you. I don't want you coming back now. That's loud. Oh my gosh. So what we found there was a... fuck. So we suggest... Why would you walk there right now? Are that like surrounds their store, and cool. And because I'm the smallest and I'm always willing to for the video, it makes good for the videos. That was super awkward. It makes good for the videos. This week I attended the local Tri-Cities. That is the fucking local. Okay, cool.